Hello, hello. What's up, gamers? Scatters and assembled in chat right now. Welcome to the Friday stream. Today is going to be a little bit of a shorter one. We've got like 2 to 3 hours ahead of ourselves, not the full 5 as usual, because I've got some stuff planned later for today. It's going to be a chill one. We've got a couple of small things to take a look at. We're going to do a little bit of Master Duel gaming. We're going to do a little bit of TCG talks. I do have a regional tomorrow that I'm not really sure what to play at. So we can talk about that a little bit later, I guess. We can discuss a little bit what the options are at the moment, because I'm not quite sure where the format is at with the release of Maze of the Muertos. I've seen some posts online. Of course, I've seen some regional results from last week, but I'm not quite sure what I want to play for the regional tomorrow. It is a pretty big regional, I think. I'm not sure if they're sold out, but they've got room for like 600 people, which is relatively big and relatively important. Speaking of the world's points for Europe, where I'm currently, I think, 17th or something. So, you know, it's I gotta think about what to play. But yeah, the format is in the trying to FTK phase. I've heard that Maze of the Muertos, and honestly, it is something that I was also scared of. The release of basically the ability for every deck to summon Dragoon could make for some pretty unhealthy stuff, you know? Bright, sunny Josh is back. Yeah, the sun is, especially down here. Yeah. It is what it is. All right. Turn it off. I can't turn it off. Can you help me build a Sprite OTK deck? I don't know if that's very well positioned right now. I don't know. Diabellstar seems so terrible going second. It does. Yes, it does. But I mean, at the end of the day, the thing is like sealing always finds a way somehow to be part of the format, right? Like it might not end up being the best deck in the format, but it definitely will exist, right? There's always going to be games where you're not making the full board because you get Fuwad or they have like Droplet or whatever else, you know, and then you just get overrun by those decks still. Like it's definitely I mean, high ceiling decks are winning tournaments as well for good reason, right? So like it's not always sometimes what's bad on paper is not always bad in practice. But you know, it's hard to say. I thought for tomorrow's regional, I'm not sure. I thought about maybe going out of my comfort zone a little bit and just try to play one of those decks with the Dark Magician Dragoon stuff. To see if it's actually good or if it's like overrated or overhyped, you know. I feel like that would be an interesting option. At the same time, I do want to make sure I get some points, right? So I'm not sure if I want to like stick with the stuff that I know is good or the stuff that's more experimental, right? Like we've talked about this in the last couple of weeks, right? Like I've talked about like, oh, the kind of decks I want to try and the kind of decks I'm not sure are good or not, you know. Like I said I wanted to maybe try and learn branded a little bit, but at the same time I don't really know if I want to try branded tomorrow because it'd be the first tournament I'd be playing it at in a long time. So and I do need the points, so I'm not sure if I want to risk that, you know. But it's a consideration. But yeah, please look at the Enneacraft deck list from 2 days ago. It uses Magical Cylinder. I saw that there was an Enneacraft topping a regional with Magical Cylinder, and I already have the tab open. The tab is already open. We are going to take a look at that in a bit. Yes. But yeah, like I said earlier, today is going to be a little bit shorter of a stream. So let's get going. Let's warm up and let's get started. Lion Dubstep, thank you for the 28 months. Welcome back. I appreciate that. Thank you. Play Magnet Warriors. Unironically, I don't have the cards for Magnet Warriors. Even if I wanted to, I wouldn't want to like try and find everything today. That sounds stressful. New Road of the King. We've already seen it yesterday, actually. No Discord notification. Oh, did I forget the add everyone? Maybe. I think I made a post, but maybe I forgot to add everyone. There was one. Oh, okay. Is that Beat Bison? This is, I think, Ring Trainer. Yeah. This feels familiar as well. This is branded something. Branded. Is it Lost? No. Is it Lost? Maybe it's Lost. No. Disciple? Branded Disciple. Will you grind the Duelist Cup? Is not decided yet. I might, or I want to, but there's also TCG regionals happening on that weekend, and it depends a little bit if I need the points or not. Ooh, this is a Blackluster Soldier. Blackluster Super Soldier? This is Turbulence. This is KS. This is Tyrant Dragon. This is one of the Gaga Gigos. Giga Gaga Gigo. This is something Thousand Eyes Idol, I think. No, the fusion material for Thousand Eyes Restrict. This is Guiltia. Wait, no, Guilty Gearfried. This one. This is Purple Poison. This is Duelist King. Duelist Academy? No. Duel Academy. My first YCS tomorrow. Wish me luck. Good luck, Duelist. So I assume you're playing YCS Sydney. We're gonna be watching YCS Sydney on Sunday. We're not gonna watch it live because it's happening in the middle of the night for me. What is this guy called? It's like it's related to the Sun Dragon, Oracle of the Sun. Is there a stream? Well, I've been told there is a stream. I think people in chat said there was one. If there's no stream, then of course we can't watch it. This is Performapal. I don't know, something bull phone or something. Long phone bull. Yeah. That is Abyss Megalo. That is Hamburger Recipe. Harpy. Dancer, yeah. Not Dancer? Queen? Queen. Oh, is Queen the one that searches Hunting Ground? That I think is Toon Gemini Elf. And that is also a crazy place to start the Zoom. This, I don't know. Actually, I have seen this. This is a gimmick puppet. Yeah, this is number 15. C15. This is some Galaxy Eyes. Am I gonna try the Galaxy Eyes? Neo Galaxy? Photon Dragon? Oh, nice. Eccentric boy. This is a normal spell card that has something to do with equips. It has a guard. It has two swords on it. I don't know what it's called. Yeah, Theory of the Spring. Tune something content. Tune table of contents. Nightmare Phoenix. Deep Beyond. No? Arion Pus? Ah, okay. Gem Knight. Is that Seraphinite? Yeah, because I thought so too. Okay, it's got red gadget on it. It's got all of them on it. It's not Stronghold though, is it? No. Boot up order gear charge. Oh, another Performapal. I'm skipping the Performapal for the sake of saving some time. Might not even be a Performapal. Oh, it was. Okay, Thunder Rhino. This is a Crawler card? Crawler... World Legacy Secret? World Legacy's Secret. Nope. I'll skip it. I should have skipped it from the beginning. It probably is some World Legacy or Crawler card. World Legacy in Shadow. This is something Ray. Micro Ray. Yeah. Vanilla Bird Faith Bird. Fabled. Fabled, no idea though. No, I don't know its name. Ruby Ruda. Monster. Is it? No, it's not Monster Reincarnation. Ah, dude, our pace was so good. Is that Slime Toad? Please be Slime Toad. Dance Princess. Beast Fangs. Gagaga something. I'll skip that one. Wind. Oh, this is a counter trap. Overwhelm, I think. Yeah. Number monster. Well, oh no. Not number 39. B. Nice. That's the one number you don't want to see is 39 because that's got so many. No idea. Dice Lops. This is a ninjutsu transformation, I think. Part of shadow sealing. This could be Apocrypha. No. Or Dark Contract. Dark Contract. Entities? Errors. Okay. Oh, Golden Apple. A YOLO. Oh, not the Black Wing. That is a Black Wing, I think. Crawler. 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 Which one is that, chat? VL? Nope. Ah, screw the crawler, man. Okay. World Legacy's Mind Meld. I don't know why I tried. That was stupid. I know you. Drag Gong? Yeah. Try my. Photon Cerberus? Oh, Barian! That's the one I know. I don't know why. Umbral Horror Unform. Yeah. Dogo something. Doku ro Yaiba. Yeah. Oh no, not a Valence. Valence. There's not that many. Buster Baron. No. Dominator Duke. No. Archer. No. Voltage. Nice. Easy clap. First try. X-Saber. Axel. No. X-Saber. Urus? Eh? Oh, it was Urus. Okay. It's bugged. Naturia Eggplant. Blaze Man. We're so close, man. I really thought today was a 4-digit kind of day. Is that Mahad? Oh, a Raid Raptor? Not like this. And a Performer Pal? Oh, that's Silverclaw. Ah, dude, I really thought today was 4 digits. We had such a good start. Man. It is what it is. 900. It's pretty good, 900. All right, shut up. Ooh, these are my favorite ones. We're looking for a vanilla. Low level, low attack, low defense back in the day. Mystical Shine Ball. Level 2 normal monster, 500 attack. Level 2 normal, 500 attack. Newer than 2004. Oh god, okay. Level 2 vanilla, 500 attack. Not light, not dark. The normal version of Gaddick. Frog the Jam. I think Frog the Jam has 700 attack. Slime Toad, I mean. Yeah, 700 attack. Probably an OCG import. Probably, because they didn't print that many more vanillas after 2004. They printed heroes, but I don't think there's a level 2 hero with 500 attack vanilla. Earth, Wind. Oh, okay. Homosaurus. Ooh, that is 500 attack. That, okay. I've seen this. It probably would have taken me a while to figure this one out. I probably would have had to like guess the attribute on random other cards first. But yeah, good call. Good call. All right. Warm up out of the way. Welcome to the stream, everybody. We've got a couple of fun things planned for today. Nothing too crazy though, because the stream is a little bit shorter than usual because I gotta be somewhere later. So it's only gonna be like 2 to 3 hours from now. But it should be fun. We're gonna take a look at some things that happened over the last couple of days, and then we're gonna jump into some Master Duel Ranked. Just gonna be a chill day. And that is that. The first thing we're gonna do is a little bit of a fun segment because people on my Discord have asked me for it. They said, "Hey Josh, now that you are playing Duel Links a little bit more actively," which I am. In case you didn't know, I've been playing a little bit more because I'm planning on streaming the what's it called, the Worlds qualifier this year for Duel Links. If I have time on that weekend, we're gonna be trying to qualify for Worlds via the KC Cup in Duel Links. And we're going to be also trained by reigning Duel Links World Champion Sniffus, who's a good friend of mine. So he's going to be joining us on stream at some point, and he's going to teach us some about the current Duel Links format in preparation for the Duel Links Worlds qualifier. So that's going to be a fun experience, I hope. And Duel Links just got a ban list, so I thought it'd be fun. And it's a pretty massive ban list because they did just have a KC Cup. And apparently one or two of the decks that were doing really well in the recent KC Cup were FTKs. So they were due for a ban list in Duel Links. So we're gonna do a little bit of fun thing where we try to look at the Duel Links ban list and we try to guess why the cards are on there, because Duel Links often hits the most random stuff in the universe to prevent random FTKs and stuff like that. But yeah. Do you even own the staples in Duel Links, Imperm, etc.? I haven't. I've been, because my goal, and you know, the monetization in Duel Links is pretty rough. So my goal is to play in that one Duel Links tournament, like the Worlds qualifier, and not have meta decks until then, right? Like I've just been grinding the quests. I have my Sky Striker deck from last year. And I've been doing my dailies, right? And I've been doing some ranked, and I've played I did play the last KC Cup just for the rewards. So I've been saving up stuff. You know, I have a couple of the staples, but I'm gonna save my resources until we actually play the tournament. But yeah. Some cards can't be pulled crafted all the time. I know, that's why I'm keeping up with some of the events. That's why I'm unlocking the characters. And I did get, for example, I got a Typhon from the recent selection box thingy, which I think is only available at certain times. So I got the Typhon to make sure in case we need it, you know, because they do have Typhon in Duel Links now. Anyways, cards to be forbidden. Aurora Paragon. Neither player can special summon monsters. When another monster is normal summoned to either side of the field, destroy this card. All right. Well, I mean, this is obviously a floodgate, so I definitely understand why it's on here. But can someone enlighten me what deck was using or accessing this card? Why was this card why is this card a problem right now in Duel Links? What was the thing? I'm assuming maybe Light Fairy, so you search it with Benton or something. Is that a thing? Drytron. Wait, they got Drytron in Duel Links? Okay. So Drytron searched this with Benton, I assume. Okay, fair enough. Well, good riddance. And then Galaxy Wave. Each time you exceed summon, inflict 250 damage to your opponent. This card, it's so funny to me. The random stuff that happens in Duel Links. But essentially, as far as I know, there's a deck, or there was a deck in Duel Links that just draws, it draws the entire deck, and then it activates 3 Galaxy Waves, and then it just summons a Zodiac monster, and then you just, as we all know with the Zodiacs, you just summon Zodiac over Zodiac over Zodiac over Zodiac until your opponent is dead. So that apparently was a problem. So they banned Galaxy Wave. And I feel like this is something they've been doing this a lot in Duel Links. And it's funny to me because the burn damage in Duel Links is already halved. You know, because the life points in Duel Links are 4,000. So of course it's half life points. So they also did half damage. So in theory, if the burn decks are, if all the burn cards are doing half damage, they should have the same level of viability as they do in modern Yu-Gi-Oh, I guess. But I think one of the core differences in Duel Links is that because your deck is only 20 cards, it is significantly easier to draw your entire deck. So certain FTKs, especially around burn win conditions, are just far more consistent in Duel Links. Like for example, this card, if you could consistently find 3 copies of this card in Advanced Constructed, it would maybe also be an existing FTK, right? But as it stands, in modern Yu-Gi-Oh, it's actually not that easy to draw your entire deck and find 3 copies of Galaxy Wave. Because in Advanced Constructed, this would do 1,500 damage per Exceed summon. So if you just open 3 of this card and a Zodiac, you also win in TCG, but it's not viable because the deck is 40 cards and not 20. But yeah, it's sometimes it's funny and sad at the same time with Duel Links, because like you look at it from the outside and it's hilarious. But then when you play the game and you go second against a deck like this, then you know you get FTK'd. But yeah. Anyways, that's gone. And then Chronomaly Atlantis is banned, is at 1, which I guess, you know, since this is not a Duel Links stream, I guess I might as well explain the limit. Semi-limit works differently in Duel Links. If cards are at 1, you can only have 1 limited card total in your deck. So very often what they do, instead of banning individual cards, is they just put 2 cards both at 1 that are not meant to play together, right? Or to be played together, which is a pretty effective way of balancing certain combinations without actually banning the cards. Some people actually think this would be cool in TCG as well, but I mean, it's never going to happen, but it's an interesting concept. Chronomaly Atlantis, I think, is also an FTK card, but it's a different FTK than the Zodiac one. I think this one is for Dark Magician FTK, so any... the Dark Magician FTK, by the way, right now in Duel Links, they got Dragoon, and Dragoon is basically being summoned everywhere. Not on a competitive scale, but if you play ranked, if you ladder up in ranked, like every second game is against someone just summoning Dragoon and hoping to win the game with that, because it's friggin' 4,000 life points. After negating once, Dragoon has 4,000 attack, and a lot of decks have a hard time outing Dragoons. Which is a lot like what's happening in TCG right now, because a lot of decks are now splashing Dragoons. It's really funny. Or could also be considered cringe, but it is what it is. Does this solve the problem of the Dark Magician FTK? Does this eliminate the problem entirely? Is the FTK no longer possible, Duel Links gamers? Because I know it exists, but I don't know exactly what the limitations on it are. Yes? Okay, good. All right. Gallant Granite goes from unlimited to 1. Guys, they do have Nibiru in Duel Links. And I think this is I think the Trap Tricks hit. Because from what I've seen, I watched for the last KC Cup, I spent a lot of time on that weekend watching Sniffus play the KC Cup. And he was playing Trap Tricks, and the combo involved searching Nibiru with Gallant Granite, and they cannot play Gallant Granite anymore because Abyss Dweller is also limited, so you now have to choose between, and Trap Tricks Rafflesia is limited, so you have to choose. You can only play one of them now. So you cannot play Granite plus Dweller or Granite plus Rafflesia. You have to play just one of them, which I guess is a good hit. Also, sometimes they were not searching Nibiru, but also searching Lord of the Heavenly Prison, which is pretty good. Dude, they got a lot of shit in Duel Links now. The best deck in the KC Cup was apparently branded. They got 3 branded fusions in a 20-card deck. That's crazy. And they even have all the other stuff. They got like Aluber and Mirror Jade and everything. And the skill makes the deck more consistent. That's crazy. Ibli goes from 3 to 1. I assume that is some sort of toxic card that Cyber's decks can go for, I would assume. That's a good riddance. Also, at 3 and unlimited are not the same thing in Duel Links, because cards can be at 3 alongside other cards, and then you have to choose 3 total from that card pool. Retaliating Sea goes from unlimited to 1. I think that is a B Trooper hit, which is also a top tier deck in Duel Links apparently. Looking at, if you haven't played Duel Links at all or not in a long time, it's always so funny to check in with the Duel Links meta if you're coming from like a TCG perspective or Master Duel, because it's always the most random shit that be meta in Duel Links. It's always like, oh yeah, B Trooper is the best deck right now, and then we have this like mystical elf deck with a broken skill which FTKs you by going Zodiacs with Exceed's wave or Galaxy wave or whatever it's called, and then oh yeah, Dark Magician is also top tier because they can FTK, and then also yes, Trap Tricks is broken, and then like oh yeah, we got Sword Soul last month, but it's actually not good. it's hilarious. Hey Trunade is coming back. I guess this is long overdue. This card was good in Duel Links back when I played more actively in like 2018 or something. 19? I don't know exactly when Hey Trunade got banned. It came out in 2018 and it got banned like 1 or 2 years after it got released, I think. I don't know. 2021? Oh, okay, not 5 years ago. Scary Moth. Each player can only special summon a monster once per turn. Okay, which deck is summoning Scary Moth, guys? Is that also a B Trooper card? Because it's an insect. Can they search it? This is a B Trooper issue. Okay. Cards to be limited. Tachyon Transmigration and Tachyon Spiral Galaxy. This is also something that's really funny because Tachyon Transmigration is now at 2, but you can only get 1 in the game, because the way you get this card is by leveling Mizar up to level 11. So you cannot even have 2 copies of Tachyon Transmigration. But of course, the reason this makes sense is because of the Duel Links Banlist system, where you can only play 2 total of the semi-limited cards. So this card down here, Tachyon Spiral Galaxy, is another searchable trap in the deck that they are playing. So by putting both of these to 2, most likely the decks are now going to play 1 of this and 1 of this, because that's all you can play. And then you cannot play any other semi-limited cards as well. But I assume they are just going to play 1 and 1 now. Or if there's another semi-limited card that's important, then I guess they might cut one of them altogether. I'm not sure. But yeah. And then Shaddoll Schism goes from 1 to 2, which I guess is a buff to Shaddoll. This is also weird because sometimes a card going from 1 to 2 is not actually a good thing. Like, let's say, hypothetically, if another Shaddoll card was previously at 2, if this card also goes to 2, that actually makes it weirder for Shaddolls. So something going from 1 to 2 is not necessarily a buff, but I think it is a buff for in this case, because I don't think there's another Shaddoll card at 2. Schism and Reincarnation were both at 1. Oh, okay, then it's a huge buff. That is a huge buff then, right? Because not only do you get to place 2 Schisms now, but you also don't have to choose between Schism and Reincarnation anymore. You can now play both. That's a pretty big deal, right? I would assume it's a big deal. So, yeah, okay. Cards going to limit 3. All right, Masquerade the Blazing Dragon goes from unlimited to 3. This is a similar thing This card is incredibly strong in Duel Links because they only got 4,000 life points. So playing against this card in Branded is really annoying. It is also always at maximum a one-of. They only have access to one copy of the card in Duel Links because I think it's you obtain it via like a special bundle. You can only get one. But they still put it to 3 because I believe Branded has other cards that are at 3. I think it's Branded Fusion, right? I think Branded Fusion is at 3. So you have to now choose if you want to play, if you want to maximize consistency and play 3 Branded Fusion, you cannot play Masquerade, or you have to cut 1 Branded Fusion in order to play Masquerade, which I guess is a fair restriction. Isn't burn halved? Yes, but Masquerade is not burn. That's the thing, right? This is taxes. This is pay 600 life points. This is not halved in Duel Links. They should have it probably. They should have probably halved it for Duel Links, this card. But it's just burn damage that is halved in Duel Links. So this card, essentially, you can only use 6 effects total if you cannot out Masquerade, which is really annoying sometimes. Especially because I've played against some Branded in Duel Links on my ladder climb this month that were summoning Masquerade and Dragoon at the same time. So you have to like out a Dragoon, you have to like answer the Masquerade through a Dragoon negate, then also out the Dragoon, and you only have 6 effects total to do that if you don't out the Masquerade quickly. It's been quite you know. You might even have to out the Dragoon twice. Yeah, because the field spell can bring it back if you pop one of the normal effect monster fairies. Yeah, yeah, or ad libitum. Yeah, it's pretty rough. Thankfully, I've been playing Sky Striker, and Sky Striker has Widow Anchor for Masquerade and the Sky Striker Kaiju for Dragoon. So I've been doing okay with Sky Striker into Branded. All right. Cards to be unlimited. Tellarknight Ptolemaeus goes from 1 to 3. I don't know what this means. I don't know if this matters. You can only obtain 1 of this, but I don't know if it's important that you have another copy of Widow Anchor. Oh, okay. Well, this makes me happy because I'm that once again, this is like the only deck that I have is Sky Striker. The problem with this is that similar to the other cards, you can only get 2 Widow Anchors. I can't even play a third one now because this is also obtained via a bundle. It's just you spend some gems and you get 2 Widow Anchors and some packs, and you can only do it once. So you cannot play a third Widow Anchor now. The only thing that this does is you can now play other semi-limited cards, which I don't know. I don't know if there is another good semi-limited card that Sky Striker wants to play. Treacherous Trap Hole? No, that's limited. You can play Kiteroid. Oh yeah, Kiteroid could be okay. I don't know. Kiteroid seems a little outdated. I feel like maybe it's okay, but it feels a little outdated. It feels like the times that people were playing Kiteroid in Duel Links are kind of over. But it is what it is. All right. Stratos goes from 3 to unlimited to help hero decks. Haven't seen hero decks in a while, to be fair. They were very popular. Like Duel Links, you can be sure that in Duel Links, whenever anime stuff is solid in Duel Links, people play the shit out of it. People love that stuff in Duel Links. I mean, people love that stuff in Master Duel and TCG as well. But in Duel Links, it's like extreme because they have sometimes when the skills are good for these decks, like the ladder is full of this stuff. So maybe this makes heroes good again. I don't know. Zodiac Barrage goes from 3 to unlimited. I mean, Zodiac, literally, I haven't seen Zodiac C play outside of the FTK, so this is probably okay. Emergency Teleport goes from 1 to unlimited. 1 for 1 goes from 1 to unlimited. Both of these cards are only obtainable once anyways. So this just makes the decks more flexible and lets them play another limited card, which is good, but nothing too crazy. Light Stage is also a one-of. Goes from 1 to unlimited. Void Ogre goes from 1 to unlimited. I don't know what any of this means, realistically, because I know kind of what's being played in Duel Links right now, but I don't know what happened to these decks for those cards to become limited like a while ago, right? Like I know Lyrilusk was a thing once, in Duel Links, but I don't know exactly how important it is that Cobalt Sparrow goes from 3 to unlimited. Psychic cards pay way too much life points to be good. They do have freaking Psychic and Punisher though in Duel Links, which is kind of crazy. I've gotten hit with I've been hit with a Psychic and Punish because they have Punk. They have almost full power Punk engine in the game. With they got Zeamin, they got Foxy Tune, Deer Note. They have the even the new one, even Rising Scale, and Psychic and Punisher. Like that deck is kind of scary. They just pay a bunch of life points and then they end on the Punk traps and they can make Punisher. It's kind of sick. I think if I wasn't playing Sky Striker with the Kaiju, I'd have some problems with it sometimes. But yeah. Ooh, Salamangrate Circle. That's cool. Goes to unlimited. Cybernetic Overflow. Majesty of the White Dragons. Okay. I know nothing about Rush Duel, so we don't even have to like talk about it that much. I have no idea what any of this means. Okay. Is this a good ban list? It seems pretty huge. From the surface, it feels like it does a lot. Because they also changed the skills. I know they changed the skills. I saw that as well. So, Duel Links players, are you happy about this? Is this greatness? Because it feels like it solves Floodgate here, FTK here, nerf to Branded, nerf to B-Trooper, nerf to Trap Tricks. And nerf to Tachyon. That seems pretty damn reasonable. That seems pretty damn reasonable, all things considered. And I think they nerfed the most broken skills, right? Let me go. I think they changed the Branded skill. Theater of the Branded opening, lost the free Despia Theater of the Branded, and the ability to search Branded opening from the second effect of the skill. They nerfed the Shinobird skill as well. I don't know much about that. But I feel like it's a pretty good one, all things considered. From a very surface level, what's it called? Observation, you know. But it looks pretty good. No Trap Tricks nerfs though. Trap Tricks is really new, and they I guess they did hit Gallant Granite, which they are playing, right? So. Copium Master Duel will also have a nuke ban list post Duelist Cup. I mean, realistically, this is kind of like what they've been doing in those games for a long time, right? They give us small ban lists before the Duelist Cup and then a relatively big one after the Duelist Cup. I'm not quite sure what I think of this. I guess you can let me know how you feel about this. I personally, also in Master Duel, I would prefer if the big ban list happened before the tournament, so that the format feels more fresh and more exciting, and some of the problems get fixed before you have to play a Duelist Cup with it, right? Like that, I would prefer that. On the other hand, I can kind of understand that they want to, like, you know, people prepare for these tournaments and they want to play what they're used to and stuff like that. So I can see it's got pros and cons. I think generally they should fix stuff like the FTK, for example, right? In Duel Links, in this example, right? There's no reason to keep that around until after the Duelist Cup or the KC Cup. You know, why not hit this stuff beforehand? You can leave the decks intact that are not FTKing, right? You can leave Branded alone until the tournament is over. But, like, get rid of the FTKs as soon as you find out it exists, right? I feel like. But, okay, anyways. All right, that was a little look into the world of Duel Links. Once again, as an announcement, we're going to be participating in the World Championship qualifier for Duel Links this year. It should be a fun challenge that I'm setting myself to. It would also be, I think it'd be awesome to qualify for Duel Links Worlds, because it's the one that I haven't gone to. You know, I've been to TCG Worlds, I've been to Master Duel Worlds, I haven't gone for Duel Links. It'd be kind of awesome. So I'll try my best to make that happen, and I will also stream it. So it's going to be a fun experience, I hope. Maybe it's going to be Troll Despair, who knows? But I think it should be fun. The only thing that I'm a little worried about is that it's usually the Duel Links Worlds qualifier is 1 week before the Master Duel one. So it's going to be 2 back-to-back really difficult weekends, I suppose. But I'm just going to have to rest a lot during the week, I suppose. But, you know. Are you streaming the Pokemon Direct at 3 p.m. today? No. We're not gonna take. I'm interested in it. I'll look at it later, but I have to be somewhere around 3 to 3:30, so the stream today can't be that long, and I don't have time to look at it, unfortunately. But we can talk about it in upcoming days if there's something exciting announced or whatever. All right, cool. Now, before we jump into Master Duel Ranked, we have to take a look at something, chat. All right, we have to take a look at something, and we're going back to a regional that we've already looked at. You know, we've already looked at the Cool Tune winning list from the Greenville Regional, and we saw that Enneacraft got top 4, but there was no deck list for it. And now there is a deck list. And now that there is a deck list, you might think, okay, now that answers the questions that we had about how could Enneacraft make top 4 at this regional. The thing is, I've only glanced over this deck list, and it has not answered any questions. I have more questions now than before looking at this list, because this list has Magical Cylinder, it has Zaborg the Mega Monarch, it has Mimighoul Maker, and and even the Magical Cylinder. I have questions, all right? Luckily, there is a deck profile for this. And I want to hear some explanations, because on all of the things I expected this year, triple Magic Cylinders making top 4 of a regional, it was not on my bingo card for 2026. All right, so we're gonna hear from the duelist who made top 4 at this regional directly, because I cannot explain any of this. I have no idea. So let's see. I mean, of course I understand that Enneacraft has like a burn win condition and that Magical Cylinder burns, but still, you know. All right, let's hear this.
And welcome back. We're here for the Team Lit channel with the top 4 regional winner, Javante Robinson, aka JT Money.
JT Money, you heard?
And he played the best deck in the format.
Enneacraft slash Attack on Mars, aka They're Here, aka Declassified Spaceships, you know what I'm talking about.
Game over, man. Game over.
What is happening?
Put the Jank Mat on there, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Jank Mat, our sponsor, you know what I'm saying? Get the mat done. Yeah, scoop it up, Team Lit. Word. All right, let's get to it.
All right, let's get going. Any shout outs?
What store you want to shout out, JT? Yeah, what's your
Put the camera on her.
What's your favorite store?
Do your commercial, go ahead. Don't act nervous.
All these games, 5385, Chicken Road.
Or can I see the deck list?
Yugioh, One Piece, all your gaming needs, JT.
First of all, yeah, Augie's the GOAT, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? They did the best.
Can I see the list?
Best prize, and they just concluded a tournament for some case, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, good stuff. Shout out Team Net too, because I'm just, you know what I'm talking about.
And he just won the case tournament from Mesa Muertos.
Huh?
How you doing the case tournament?
I won that jump. You heard?
Right after the regional.
Back to back.
Back to back.
All right, cool.
And this is all in Atlanta, Georgia, by the way. Just know this all the good duelists in Atlanta, Georgia.
All the good dudes and not the superheroes.
All right, let's get going.
All right, let's get into it. I just want to start with the monsters, man. 2 Pixia. Put the camera on me, bro. All hail Pixia.
All hail Platon! All hail Platon!
You heard? Look, no targeting. Don't target nothing in your field. Don't target nothing on my field or in your graveyard, my grave. Don't do none of that. And they get a card out your hand for free, face down. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. And all that MST stuff, all that. I played 5 MST decks, bro. It was easy. Easy work. Then we got 2-tail, the protection effect. I'm going to do a top 4 of my favorite Enneacraft monsters, but, bro, I never resolve him. I don't know if it's like a draw for graveyard effects or something, but, like, didn't resolve him at all at the regional. Then we got the big boy, the whale. You already know what he does. Flip your shit down forever. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to get on my turn. Probably my favorite regular monster. That ad, it comes in clutch. I've resolved it 20 to 30 times, bro. Favorite. He's all right. The whole thing that messes it up when you do the
He's all right.
you get the flip effect and you get the mandatory chain link one. You don't really get to like get a good benefit out of negating the monster. So
Yeah,
it's
that's
all right.
true. That part of I think it's Tromaria is the blue one. That one is frustrating because it's always chaining one to negate.
Same thing with this one. Like the monster pop is cool. I usually use it for like if I'm playing Draco Tail and they do the Christian stuff. I'll set this because I just use it as my normal summon and they attack into it, pop their Christian, and we go from
Yeah, that one's good because like the monster pop, it doesn't matter if it's chainlink one or not.
there.
Usually.
So that's all the monsters. Stop looking at me like that, Brian.
Okay, sorry. My bad. Uh-oh.
These are Pats. Thanks, Pat, for the Demon Della Venitas. Ultimate Red. Ultimate Red. You know
That's
what I'm saying?
Patrick Hoban, by the way.
Look,
That's
this is
Patrick Hoban.
if you don't got the Imperm, you don't got the Droplet, you don't got the whatever. I mean, but I got the target protector, so she usually just sits there. But yeah, turn skip. The boy, the board, bro.
MVP.
Every time I resolved this yesterday, probably like 10 times, bro.
This card is pretty busted, yeah. Like there's a lot of crazy stuff you can do nowadays with this. Like even the Jirac stuff is pretty crazy.
And every time I resolved it, probably 5 out of the 10 times, they just scooped him with the next game. It's too much. You send their whole stuff. I'm sending stuff. I'll show you later. We ain't gonna talk about it right now. And then my one hand trap, bro. You heard? My one hand trap. I seen it like 5 times, man. Stop cutting me in the shifter, man. Stop giving it to me. For spells, 3 release, 3 Indianapolis, 3 rebirth, standard. Then we got 2 Fallen of the Virtuous. I mean,
I'm just waiting for the magic cylinders.
I mean, it's useful for like if I'm playing into like the MST deck. Like if you get the targeted trap, or maybe like if it's like a monster I don't want to deal with, it's good for stuff like that. All right, here's the goo. Some of the goo. Mimigo Maker. This is definitely just
Okay, so
I can resolve my boy. So you add the card, they pick one, set it to their field. They can't use Imperm.
oh, okay, wait. So Mimighoul Maker, you can pick any 2 flip monsters, right? And then you summon one to your side. Oh no, you add one to your hand. Okay. Okay, so you add one to your hand, you give the other one to your opponent, and then they can't imperm you anymore, I guess. And then it also, doesn't it have a graveyard effect? If your opponent summons a monster, you can banish this card, target a face down monster your opponent controls, change it to face up or face down. Okay. Change it to face up attack or defense position. So, okay, you can't flip up your own Enneacrafts with this. That is not what it does, but it's kind of like, it's like a Rhoda. It's like a Rhoda for any flip monster in this deck, but it's random because you have to pick 2 different ones, so you cannot choose which one you're gonna get. And then giving one to your opponent is like, it can be a downside, right? Because they do have flip effects, some of them. So if you, let's say you're trying to get one of the small ones. That's something I really like about this. Even besides the fact that it stops Imperm, I really like that you can play more small Enneacrafts with this, because that was one of my biggest problems when I played this deck was consistency a little bit, because there's only 12 of the small scales so far. And it's really important to open some of those. So the fact that this, you can just reveal 2 of the small ones, so you have more copies of them essentially in your deck, I think that greatly helps your consistency. And then the fact that you play around evenly, not Lightning Storm, because you give it to them and face down, but you play around evenly and you play around Imperm is okay, I see it.
They can't stop them unless they got Valor maybe, but it's just for that. All right, cool. Now we go to the traps. 2 the Rumor Cannon, main in them. Sorry for the different rarities, but
It's okay.
It's just good because I mean I'm not gonna. It's not an OTK deck. Like when I get to my turn, I'm not trying to kill you. I'm just trying to keep the game going. So like it's cool to like just set it, pass. They try to attack the Rumor Cannon. They get too far into their combo, and I get kind of uncomfortable with the Rumor Cannon.
All right, we saved the best for last.
All right, man. Look, man, it's the goo right here. This is it. Magic cylinder. Magic cylinders. Y'all know, I don't know if y'all know what this does. I can activate it, set one of these in graveyard, banish it, double the attack, and dominate with double the damage. So like, you're attacking for 3,000, double the damage is 6,000. And I use this because like, I was testing. I just hated when I couldn't get the game to move faster. So like, this helped me in two ways. I get damage and I get to keep my monsters. Like, I just want to go, next turn, flip my monster face up and attack sometimes. And it just was like not working out. So I put these in here and it worked out. And then last round, I won with this. This literally changed the game. This was like, the reason I won was Magic Cylinder. So
It's imagine last round of the regional, you play against Enneacraft already, and you're playing for top 4, so probably at X1. And then they just got that one back row, and you just can't figure out what it is because like they haven't interrupted you with it at any point. You got no idea what they got over there. And so you're just like, you know what? I don't know. I guess it's a bluff or whatever. And then you attack and you just get Magic Cylindered for a game. It's yeah. I don't know. The feeling that was it would feel crazy. I don't know exactly what they mean by saying like they hated when they couldn't get the game to move faster. And then Magical Cylinder is the solution to that. I guess because what they described is more like a way to stall out the game, just like stop an attack. I guess moving the game faster in the way that like you negate your opponent's attack and you do get a little bit closer to the win, right? Because burn damage is your win condition. And this is something I've felt with this deck sometimes, is like, you start gaining control of the game with the Enneacraft monsters, but then you do have to hold that game state for a while before you actually win, because you can't always just easily do 8,000 damage with the field spell, right? It takes a while until you get there. And so this card, if you can just randomly stop one attack for like 2,500 damage or something, right? You just gain a little bit of momentum because you let one of your Enneacrafts survive the turn, and then you also do some damage, so you get closer to winning in that way. The only question is like, it could be any other card, right? And maybe that would contribute more to your game plan because it actually has impact. Like this card, just you go -1. But I like it. This deck operates so different from other decks that I could see this card working, actually. I'm not sure if it's optimal, though. But I think the problem of this deck is not Magical Cylinder being in there. The problem of Enneacraft is more so the surrounding right now, right? The fact that there is some Evenlies in the format, the fact that there is Mitsurugi still in the format, the fact that there is the Draco Tail, Urgula, and Pan, which are really hard to stop for this deck. Like there's a couple of problems that this deck has, but if it ever executes its game plan and doesn't get hard countered by one of those cards, I could see the Magic Cylinder working.
Magic Cylinder 2026.
But it is crazy to see.
Go on the extra deck. You know what the Albions are here.
This deck might be better in Master Duel with no side. Yes. I think this is one of the decks that definitely does not benefit from side. It also does not benefit from the time rules, because I feel like everyone, like the deck is already a little slower, but then people also read your cards all the time, multiple times, because they're pendulums and they got multiple effects. Like it's gonna be painful. But it does have, that's the thing. This version of the deck, this is different to what I was using. If you have Zaborg and Vanity's Fiend in there, you do have some high roll potential to create some pretty fast auto win game states, right? Like that is an aspect that my version of the deck was missing. I didn't have any of that in there. I think I had side deck Vanity's Fiend, but I never actually got to do it. So I always had to like grind out the games, and this sometimes you got auto wins, sometimes you summon Zaborg and the game's over, right?
Not in order. We're playing 3 Astro. 3 Meteor, 1 Velfido. It's just I play him so I can get the third pop off, but this is all sent off of Zaborg. So Zaborg is sending all this, He's sending Garura. He's sending Farajit. I get a draw. He's sending Cambroster. So if I blow up the field and I have set cards,
so
I usually try to like.
Zaborg is so
The second
powerful.
blow up is like the strategic blow up. The first blow up is just like.
It's crazy because I think Zaborg would even be good if it didn't rip your opponent's entire extra deck, right? Like Zaborg sets up all of this, right? You send triple Astero, one of the other Jirax, you keep the meteors in your extra deck, so that's 4. And then you can send these other 3, the Garura, the Farajit, and the Cambraraster, and then you can also send the Albion to get the Fallen and the Virtuous for free. Like that is 3 full board wipes, 1 draw and a put back, 1 protection for your back row, and 1 free Fallen and the Virtuous. That is so much advantage. But on top of all that, it also friggin' blasts half of your opponent's extra deck into the Oblivion. It's kind of crazy.
Even the playing field, and I can keep my cards in the set, and I can protect it with this. I got an extra one of those, and I never use this. I need to find another monster to put in the extra deck. This is just here. I never even do anything with it. And yeah, that's it.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
It's me again.
Oh, the side deck.
The side deck, and I'm gonna show you how the side deck too. I can't forget that. So we got 3 Perulias, 3 Wallows.
Okay.
Going second, I just want to scrub you out. I just want to draw cards and feel comfortable. So I want to activate these, draw cards, and every time I draw another card, I'm just gonna feel more comfortable. You feel me?
That's a vibe.
Then we got 3 Sphere Mode. You know what he does. Don't build a board. Don't have all those heavy boards with 3 or more monsters. He's coming. He's coming to get you. 3 lands. Yeah, even though I didn't play any Malice, there's still Malice around, and this deck kind of has an issue with Malice. Those 2 non-targeting banishes.
Don't worry, every deck has an issue with Malice.
Are crazy.
It's all right.
Like they can literally just have the 2 non-targeting banishes, and it kind of be enough sometimes.
It works for the new Trigger decks.
Yeah, exactly. And Luna Light, kind of. Then we got Evenly. Just Ivan caught me round 2, evenly like a whole Draco Tail board. It was like 10 cards. Evenly goated. It's really annoying. It's hard to play through. So
right.
Yeah. That's it. Shout out Team Lit. We here. Top 8. Ivan usually get top 8, but he sucked. He went X4.
What changes would you make to the deck?
Yeah, what changes would you make
Right
to
now,
the deck?
the biggest change, I probably won't make no changes, bro. This I made this change right before the regional.
In the card.
And it paid off super. Like I just want to keep my monsters. Like I just like keeping the games going too long. Like you don't want to get into any double losses. Because we're making this like we got like 4 turns so we can burn them to death. So like this really helps. I'm pretty sure.
I would be interested in the
bro.
matchups. I wonder
No
if they
changes
talk
right
about
now.
that.
It's a good
Because I
deck.
still like I've actually played this deck, so I kind of understand some of the matchup dynamics. But I would really be interested to hear if they like were able to beat any, for example, Mitsurugi, because that deck I think is a super hard matchup for this deck.
I think it's the best deck of the format. I mean, I played 4 MSTs. It was just 2 O's across the board. Draco Tail just can't keep up.
Draco Tail
I
can't
played
keep up.
3 Draco Tail, all 2 O's.
That is crazy.
2 MST Tri Brigades. Those went to game 3, but it was still kind of easy because once you use well and flip the board face down, it gets hard for them from there. And then the MSTs, they just lose to Pixie, bro. Pixie is too broken, bro. They need to do something about it. Pixie is way more broken than people
They
think.
need to do. Okay, they don't need to do anything about Pixie.
Is you can't target my field, target your field. Like that's super broken, super duper broken. I probably won half my die rolls. I didn't, probably like 4 out of 8. So
What was your hardest matchup?
the hardest matchup was going into time with the Sky Striker player. Like hardest matchup is time rules
Okay, fair enough.
and people that just are salty about losing. Like they know they're gonna lose, and it's like you're just watching your life points dwindle. So it's like that's just really the issue. So it's really just playing against the player at that point. So that's why we playing these, so we can hurry up. You attack, Magic Cylinder, take whatever.
Okay, that's what Magic Cylinder is for.
If I got the other Magic Cylinder, double the damage, keep my monsters, I make a attack next turn. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to see this deck do well. I love Enneacraft. I think it's awesome. The vibes were awesome. Not necessarily sure if I have more or less questions now, but it was pretty based. I mean, yeah. And I mean, 8 rounds, and they got top 4, which probably means they went 7-1. And they did say the loss was probably a double loss against Sky Striker, if I heard that correctly, which I could definitely see why that would happen with this deck against Sky Striker. But it's, I mean, you don't just beat multiple Draco Tails and multiple Radiant Typhoons like 2-0 like it's nothing. So maybe there is something to it. I don't know. Maybe I have to revisit this deck at some point. I definitely want to revisit it with the new support. I think it's an interesting concept. But yeah, it sounds like they had a fun experience. So that's always awesome. If I was already pissed about losing to Enneacraft and then I got finished off by Magic Cylinder, I think I'd quit for a bit. I don't know. I think at that point, I would already think it's hilarious. I think at that point it's already more funny than anything else. No lion is interesting, not even siding. No lion. What do you mean by lion? Oh, Leon. Oh, yeah. Oh. Wait, there's no Leon. Isn't Leon the one that bounces 3? Dude, that card is awesome. That card is much better than Architail. Architail sucks ass. Well then. Tail is good, Smudge? No, Tail is not good. Not the game. Take that back. No, I won't. No, I won't. Please no Draco Tail today. No, I promised you last time we played Master Duel, we were going to try the Fire King deck in Ranked. And so we will. We are going to try the Dinkabui Fire King Jurak goo in Master Duel today a little bit. We don't have as much time, but it's time to try something different, some rogue. And this deck list, it's a little bit light on non-engine, I would say. We've got the 1 Max C, we've got 3 Ash, 3 Fuwa, 3 Impulse, which is what, 10 non-engine. It's not the most, but it's okay, I think. The extra deck is pretty expensive because we need, I put 3 and 3 of these because I wanted to play the Pot of Extravagance for added consistency. So the idea is basically we're playing Fire Kings, but it is no longer pure Fire Kings because we now have the Jurak cards in Master Duel. And I say now, but they came out a while ago. I just haven't found the time to play this deck yet. So the idea is that if you pop Jurak Megalo, you can send the Jurak monster from your deck or extra deck to the grave, which sends Jurak Astero. And Jurak Astero says, during your opponent's turn, banish 2 Jurak monsters from your grave, including this card, to special summon Jurak Meteor from your extra deck. It's treated as a synchro summon. And Jurak Meteor is a full board wipe. And then it revives a tuner from the grave, which usually you won't have, but sometimes maybe you can bring back Ash. And this is not once per turn either, so if you can set up multiple of these, then you can wipe the board multiple times. And you can also bridge into Jurak Megalo with the Fire King cards, because you can go Garunix, pop from your deck the Fire King Avatar Kirin, which if it's destroyed and sent to the grave, you can send the fire from your deck to the grave. So you send Misk, which technically we could play even more copies of, but I'm not at the moment. But you can then banish this to summon the Jurak Megalo, and then in the end phase, because of Misk's drawback, it gets destroyed in the end phase, and then you set up that way, right? So it's basically pure Fire King, but with a very powerful twist, which I think this makes the end board for this deck basically un-outgrindable. If you can set up the Jurax in the graveyard, it's really, really strong because you already have like your Fire King interruptions. You've got your Kirin Pop, your Arvata negation, your Skyburn, your overlay into the rank 8 and all that stuff, you know. But then on top of it, you can wipe the board at any point. And of course, you don't care if your board gets wiped because all of your stuff floats. And during the next standby phase, all of your stuff comes back. You know, Ponix back to hand, Garunix back to the field, destroy the board, and so on. So it should make for some pretty fun, grindy games. It's a pretty complicated deck to play, I think. It creates some really difficult game states, but we'll try our best. It's been a while since I've played the deck, so there's probably going to be some mistakes here and there, but it should be fun. And then we'll see if we can climb with it. Oops. Almirage is important. I did have Almirage in here. I'm not sure if it's correct to play the other things that I have over Almirage. Almirage is really good to turn a Fuba into a fire monster, pretty much. That's one of the only cases for it. But yeah, pretty sure you only need two synchros. If I don't activate Extrav, that's true. Like we could just play it risky and do Almirage and Hita over the extra synchros. I could do this. This is very risky if I activate Extrav. But I guess it only matters if I lose 2 of the same. If I have 1 and 1 left, it's probably okay. Alright. Played role rated right now is Mitsurugi Fiesta. We'll find out. We'll find out. Maybe we'll have to adjust non-engine. The time limit win is my most consistent win con against Fire King Jurak. Yeah, that's the problem. I think there's a lot of game states where you have to think really hard, but then your stuff triggers a lot of stuff, and then it takes a while. We'll see. Alright, we have all engine for going second. Depending on the deck, this could be okay, though. I hope it's not yummy. The problem with Yummy is Herald of the Arclight, because that is really, really hard to play around. Instead of Fossil Dig, you can play Ground Xeno? Yes, you could. Yeah. You should drop Extrav and Fossil Dig for more non-engine. Another one card that I think could be pretty neat in this deck is Super Poly, if we have the extra deck space for it. Because that is one of the best non-engine to have against Yummy, because it just... The main thing we care about is outing the freaking Herald of the Arclight. If we can out the Arclight, then our engine can play against the rest. So if we keep having trouble against Yummy going second, then maybe we cut some... Yeah, the Fossil Dig maybe could be Super Poly. IP into WP kind of ass too, and Elf so you can't Skyburn IP. Yeah. I think that's manageable though. Fossil Dig could just be more copies of Misk. Yes, that would be weaker into Fuwa when I go first though, right? Like that's the problem with Misk over Fossil Dig. Fossil Dig I can just search the Jurak and then pop it, and that doesn't give a draw for Fuwa. If I use Misk to get the Jurak onto the field, then it does give a draw for the Fuwa, right? Oh, it's Yamimitsu. This hand seems pretty good. It would have been pretty good going first. It's technically even a good hand going second. The problem is that Herald of the Arclight is a really potent floodgate against this deck. Because everything I destroy will not go to the graveyard. So that is the biggest problem. What do you think is the best Yami variant right now? At least judging from popularity, it would be not Mitsu. It would be Sulfur Cord Yami. That is, I think, the most popular. Most popular does not always mean best, but okay. I guess we'll start with this and try to Skyburn the Herald of the Arclight. Alright, never mind. No, I get floodgated. Yeah, let's play more non-engine over Fossil Dig. Otherwise, this happens too frequently. Let's do Super Poly. You can't summon Arvata and just attack. No, they book it. This. Then we play Garura. And Mud Dragon. I don't know if we can afford to play Secretarion as well. I feel like everything else is too important. Okay. So what do we replace the Pot of Extravagance with? It could be a third island to make up for the consistency. Maybe it's that. If we draw too much island, then I guess we can cut it again, but Called By. I think Called By is polarizing in this deck because going first it's pretty solid, but going second it kind of sucks. It could also have been, we could have put like one Nib in there. It conflicts with Impulse, but it's pretty good against Yami. Kirin plus the Jurek is also a really broken hand trap. Because you can board wipe turn 1. I Impulse Nore, right? I Impulse and pray they can't play. Jeez. That's not a Fire King problem, that's just a K9 thing. That's the same for every deck. I think more hand traps is better than Super Poly. It depends. In the Yummy matchup, definitely not. Like this, for example, is totally winnable against Yummy. That is the funniest barrier statue you could have had. That's awesome. They are going to be very pissed when they find out what I play. Uh. Sure. Let's just runic. I have to buy. Well, any other barrier statue would have been a huge problem, but not that one. Can I go first maybe once? Okay, thank you. No, please don't break. Check deck. You can't in rated duels. Man, do I set super poly or do I go for the Fuwa? Because I kind of need the draws, but then... See, this was Fossil Dick a moment ago, which would have been okay here. Almirage? I'm not gonna normal Fuwa and make Almirage. Although, maybe. It's not really a disruption, though. Even if they attack the Almirage and then I use Garunix, it doesn't do anything. It just gets my engine rolling, so I can also hold Fuwa to crash Almirage next turn. I think I'll set Super Poly. I'll hold Fuwa to make Almirage next turn. Yeah. It's a good Super Poly at least. Oh, they got Lollipo too, so they can just banish my Garunix if I Ash Cupsy now. They just tag out into Lollipo and banish my Garunix. I have to let it go through. I don't know if I survive this turn. Why not send Skyburn? Because I'm already behind and I feel like I need every card I can have to stay in the game. And technically Garunix can come back from the graveyard. Because I might very much need this next turn to break the board if I survive. Problem is they can banish the Garunix anyways with SP. Maybe I should have kept it in hand. It's a pretty bad spot no matter what. What is the yummy out to double Liger? You surrender usually. What is this board so far? They don't even have surprise back in rotation. Battle phase? Eh? Eh? Nah. Okay. Ah. Island. They tag. No, Island doesn't. Why doesn't Island work? Because I've already used Garunix. What do I search with Island by popping my Ash? Onyx? And then what? I can summon Ponix. Like they get all the yummy stuff in the meantime. It doesn't do anything. He's cute. Fair enough. I'll give you that. The one time I go first, I draw unplayable. And we're back to going second. Okay, this hand is good at least. This hand is pretty good. I am playing Jirax, yeah. Smith. Bean Smith. Okay. Okay. They have some quick effect in hand. Habakiri. And one other card. What is it? Prayers? Yeah. Alright. You get a Habakiri search. If the last card in hand is a ritual monster or ritual spell, I guess we're fucked. Good. Wait. What did they add back? Habakiri? Huh? This loses known. Yeah, they searched Haba. They have Haba in hand. They really want that Fiendsmith package. They could have gotten that Fiendsmith package if they wanted to. They could have just gotten Ritual, Ritual from deck, Tribute Mura, Mura search Prayers, And then they could have gone Fiendsmith stuff with Prayer set. But now they do Fiendsmith stuff with Haba in hand. And I think this loses to Ponix, add back, and then Crash, summon back Garunix. Because I can out Caesar with Skyburn. I don't even have to Crash if I go Skyburn. This is just known. Unless there's something really weird happening now. Okay, IP Masquerade now. Yeah, I think that loses. The hell is this? A bow? Okay. Okay. Special light. Okay, that brings back Murakumo now. That's a little better. Still, I think it still loses. Hello. You are my Murakumo discard. So I guess there is a small chance they play Paradise, which is pretty good against Sanctuary Island, but I still think it's Sanctuary. This is also Giga bad into Typhon, by the way. Even without any. I mean, I guess they beat Typhon with the Fiendsmith. Why are we playing this deck? Because it's fun. Okay, Garunix. We have normal summoned. I'm gonna add. I want to pop this, I think, from my deck. I think I added Kirin. Do I? Maybe I pop Kirin. If I don't pop Kirin, I could also pop this. No. What does Kirin pop? Misk. This, that. I think I add Kirin. Or this. Also pretty cool. Let's summon that. Make the fat Garunix. They're a target for Hita. They did Ash. I could go Promethean line as well. Hita, bring back Ash. Promethean. I would like to have the other stuff in rotation. The Durac stuff, but I think this is in. So now it's two options. It's either this to wipe those two, or it's Hita to try and go for a Promethean princess. Hita, Promethean. I think I do this first. This might actually, it might even be, no, it's probably not game because they have the Lacrima engrave. Summon back 2. Okay, so. Can this summon in attack mode? Yes. I could threaten game, but I think it's better to just bring these two. He's... Yeah, that was a crazy throw. All right, good thing we didn't go first because this was a brick. And it's actually pretty good going second. All right, ranked is Mitsu right now. I can see Mitsu and Yami all the time. It's really important we have this Maxi here, actually, because I think Fuwa doesn't really do that much against this deck. Okay, the hand is decent now. Not the best, but it's fine. Okay, it's actually really good. It's really good that they drew this, because now the super poly goes hard. Hello! Yeah, it's ironically, it would have been a little bit harder if they didn't have the normal summon there. But of course, for them, it was absolutely correct to normal summon the Saji to get the Magatama in there as well. Obviously, that was correct. About the dinosaurs, yeah, we haven't really gotten to show it off yet, unfortunately. It would have happened this game. But it's just, this is the second time we're going first, and the first time I bricked, so I guess we'll see. Maybe I can pull it off now. Okay, it's not a brick. This would have also, this hand going second is insane. Okay, no Ash. Big. So, Ulcanix or just Garunix directly? I would love to get Ponix in rotation as well, but I think I have to choose here. Because if I get Ponix here, I cannot get to Garunix. Ulcanix is bad into Droll. Ulcanix is bad into Droll. Yes. I think it's fine to get Garunix here. Just play it safe. Get it into rotation. Okay, understandable. I do not play Barong, unfortunately. That would be nice here. Okay, we're sending Astero to the grave, so we have that set up right now. We also use Garunix. And now is the question. Okay, I don't want to pop Volcanix now, which was originally my plan. I think it's this or this. I think it's this. Because this, on their standby, is going to come back. It's going to put the Garunix into my grave. You can do 2 board wipes. Yes, if I could get, but then I'd have to still summon into the maxi, right? If I get this and then Misk. Or no, I can just send the second Jirac, but I think that's a little riskier. I think this is fine. So the order of operations here is I want to use Super Poly first. Afterwards, I want to use the board wipe from Astero. I want to use the board wipe from Astero, which can then trigger Garunix if I want to. Oh, it's actually at Ignister. Okay. Well, I'm sure we're going to find a spot for Super Poly at some point, but in the beginning, it should be difficult. No way Cybers plays through this. They do have non-engine potentially, right? It's not guaranteed that it's all engine, because there is stuff that stops this, like Bell on Meteor stops the board wipe. They could SP. They could also SP, yeah. But I would assume... Okay, Wicked... I meet you... Oh! Oh! 2 darks! 2 darks! I see 2 darks! I'll let him search first. I think I should just Super Poly now while I can. Also, it makes Garura, which draws a card later. I think I should just do that now. They have normal summoned. But they can keep going with this, right? They can just keep going with the island. Wait, it is Malice! Shut up! Do I wait then? If it is Malice, what's the next step? Splash Mage on Dormouse? I'll wait. Get mining. Discard Nibiru. Wizard. Dormouse. Are you playing Trifio Virtum? No. What do you mean set? There's no way you're done. Don't pretend like you're done. What I mean. You had to continuous, this would be nice. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm an expert at drawing island and not sanctuary. Two island is enough. Having less island in my deck does not make it more likely to draw sanctuary. You don't understand how that works. My hand would have been infinitely worse if I didn't even have island to begin with. That would not have made me draw sanctuary. If I cut island, all right? That's not how that works. It's better to have island than not have access to it at all. Which is currently why I'm playing 3 island, 3 sanctuary. I understand that drawing sanctuary is better, but I would play more sanctuary if I could over island, but I cannot. Are you playing branded at your regionals? I don't know yet. I don't know what I'm playing yet. No idea. Probably not branded because it's a big regional and I kind of need the points. And I'm not because I don't like branded, but because I don't think I'll play branded well enough. Does this play without Splash Mage? Because they can't make Lizardos, can they? They're locked into Cybers. Can't make SP, can't make Haggard. I think this does not play yet. Easy clap. They didn't even force my entire board wipe. I still had a full board wipe. ready to go. Sansa Paria, thank you for the 28 months. What do dinosaurs use to listen to music? They use a Durac as stereo. Okay. Hey, we drew Sanctuary. Let's go. Do we start baiting an Ash with Onyx, maybe? Maybe. Then I can normal summon Ulcanix if I don't. Ah, let's see. I'm fine into Ash either way, I think. Oh. I could destroy the Garunix here, search Ulcanix, special Ponix, search Skyburn. Oh. How many Garunix do I play? 3. This is going to make it so they have a trap engraved. So this is going to destroy my Kirin, which is not necessarily a bad thing. All right, dude. Let me finish my thought. Goddamn. Ah, we have the wrong Kirin with Megalo. We got Ash Fuwa though. Oh. 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 Okay. I mean, they do have lab field and lab sleeves. So if it is lab, that's a pretty good matchup for me. It's not lab. All a lie. It's probably Odeon garbage. End of fire. That should still be a solid matchup for me if it is Odeon. It could also, I mean, I guess it could be a brick Yummy with Purge. With like a bunch of imperms and Cold Bio or whatever, but it does look like a trap. How good is this deck in the TCG right now? It's Rogue. It's not unplayable, but it's Rogue. Like lower tier 2, I would say. It's fine. All right, let's do it again. No Purge this time around. Okay. It's definitely Odeon. It is absolutely Odeon. Yeah. It doesn't work very well against my deck, thankfully. But literally, this is what I meant when I said Odeon was cringe, because that deck literally no to everything. It's the only, that's the only mode this deck has. No, 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 no. Here, I'll say no to that once. I can also say no. Cringe ass deck, dude. Odeon deserves more hate? It does. It really does. Imagine they make stamped Odeon cards with the no on it. It would be very fitting. Didn't you like it in TCG? It's... Dude. Not... I thought in the beginning it was cool, but I didn't realize what it turned into really quickly. Or then I realized what it turned into. Yeah, this is like... The good news is my deck has a really good matchup into Odeon, which is very pleasant. Check deck, I cannot. It is still rated. Odeon design versus lab design. Yeah, people will look at lab and Odeon and just see it's a trap deck and think it's the same deck or the same playstyle, which is, it could not be further from the truth. A solid hand, almost the same hand as last game. But they have Canine Field in sleeves, which is a lot scarier. Please, can I have chance in this game? No? Okay. Okay, field spell from hand is good. If there's no other yummies in hand when I ash the Cupsy Yummy way, it could be okay. Waiting. Waiting for special Cupsy any moment now. Okay, that's a good sign. Because you don't want to go Lollipo when you don't have 2 level 1s in the grave. So this probably means they have no other yummies. No way Ash did something going second. It's rare, but sometimes it happens. Probably means the other 2 cards are non-engine. An awkward spot. Because if I go Island, they can just tag out into Cookie Snatchy, place a Croaky, Synchro, and then pop my Island. So that is kind of a waste. Dude, not this again. If this is Imperm and not Purge, I have a pretty solid line. If it is Purge, though, it's pretty cooked. I think if it's Purge, it's cooked either way, though. Could be Droplet. It could be Droplet. It could also be Surprise. Isn't going Battle Phase better? The problem... If I go Battle Phase, they make the Synchro that books. Then if I chain Skyburn, it's pretty bad. Like if they go Synchro book and if they go to quick Synchro and I chain Skyburn to prevent the Synchro by popping Snatchy, it triggers the field spell. That's not great. I think the fact that they let this go through means it's Purge, though. If it is Purge, it's pretty tough. If it's not purge though, I think we might win at this point. Okay, it's surprise. That is pretty bad. This is once per turn. Yeah, it's cooked. If they chain quick synchro here, I can prevent it with Skyburn. But then a Croaky triggers. The good thing is that they still have SP in the extra monster zone. Maybe that stops them from popping off here. Were they not able to chain their own effect? Yes, they could. I'm not sure why they didn't. Okay, Rise map off the top gives them Cupsy. So the hand is Cupsy, Cookie, 1 unknown. But this might be okay because they made SP. The fact that they can't make a Link 1 right now is pretty good. I'm not sure if they can actually do much. They could make Sprite Elf, but then they still can't special the other yummies. Melia. Cookie. And hold up. They have Lollipo and Cookie in hand. Lollipo and Cookie in hand. I go special Kirin, Skyburn the Kagari. They go chaining 1 a Croaky to summon. I chaining 2 Kirin to pop a Croaky. And then they have already normal summoned. If the last card in hand is Marshmallow, I die. But I think if the last card in hand is Marshmallow, I always die. It realistically, it should be Marshmallow. Because if it's not Marshmallow, they should have searched Marshmallow. Because this play that I am making right now was obvious. This was known to them that I have this line. So if they didn't have Marshmallow, they should have searched it with Cupsy, but maybe they messed up. Who knows? Yeah. Which is weird, because it means they had Marshmallow turn 1. And somehow they messed up the combo, even though they had Marshmallow in hand. That's GG, right? If they do it properly, it should be. Yeah. It's a little weird because they got both field spells in the graveyard right now, so they need to go through some hoops to get the other field spell, but it should be game. The thing is, the weird thing is they either had Marshmallow or Piri Rise map turn 1. both of which should have technically won them the game a turn earlier already. Because their combo, the combo that they did on turn 1 was not correct if they had an extra engine card in hand. Probably forgot Piri Rise map. Maybe, yeah. Maybe they opened Piri Rise map, forgot that you have to do it at the start of the turn, and then drew the Marshmallow that saved them now, yeah. But it's hard to play around stuff like that when essentially them playing their turn 1, assuming they know how to play their deck, it gave me the read that they had non-engine in hand, when in reality they had like a Marshmallow or a Piri Rise map that they should have used on turn 1 if they had it. Sometimes it's awkward. Sometimes, you know, that you get a wrong read like that because you think your opponent is playing properly when in reality, like, they just messed up turn 1, you know. Because there's no way 2 Yummy names, either Cookie plus Marsh or Cookie plus Rise map, is supposed to end on SP, pass, against 1 Ash. Not how it's supposed to go. Maybe they didn't want to play into draw. Yeah, maybe, but it's probably not ideal. All right, GG's. The thing is, I could have played around Surprise with the Island Kirin by going Battle Phase first. The problem is just Surprise is a one-of and they didn't search it, so it's more likely for it to be like Imperm or Purge, against which my play was better. Droplet as well. But yeah. Are you team Vanquisol K9 or team Dracotail? I am team Dracotail is more fun, but Vanquisol K9 is probably better. If that's a team, if that's an option, I don't know. Because I love the Dracotail deck, but I do acknowledge how broken K9. What does that mean? What? That's not what I thought would happen. Bro, have you tried playing Yummy monsters instead? Those are pretty good normal summons. Usually. This is at least the 23rd best Yummy starter. Probably. Okay, they set Purge, which means there's a chance they have Ash as well. Which does mean I don't play. Oh, never mind. I play. Ah, okay. That makes sense. That's not bad. Where's the Jurek? Well, I keep getting hand trapped. They have another purge. I need to get the Garunix in the graveyard because this comes back. So I want... Yeah, okay. So I need to make something with this Garunix. What's the worst thing? I guess Sunlight Wolf, right? Because that's going to trigger. That is so broken, man. That is so insanely broken. Oh god. Oh god. Yeah. Why would you not draw Cupsy off the top? Oh, this game sometimes, man. No Pokemon stream? No, I don't have that much time today. I gotta go in like 30 minutes. So I don't wanna... I wanna play some Yu-Gi-Oh, you know? What would happen if you impulse? The problem is like, if I impulse the Gamma, the Garunix is still a mandatory trigger on the field. So if they want them for the bodies, they can always use them. Or I have zero interruption. Because Dominus Impulse covers every single starter except Cupsy. Is why I held it, basically. And then, of course, they drew Cupsy, so it looks bad right now. But technically, this covered every starter except Cupsy. Because any one Yummy would go Minion, and then I impulse Minion, and then it's done, right? Because they didn't have other Yummies in hand last turn, so I knew they had no extenders. It was just, do they have a starter that's not Cupsy? And then they drew Cupsy. Why are we alive? I have no idea. No idea at all. It's completely illegal that I'm alive. Maybe they play Cupid Pitch and they can still do burn damage in main 2. Possible. Right elf down there. Okay. Elf is still legal in Master Duel. You can think of any broken extra deck monster that should be banned, and like 70% of them are legal in Master Duel. It's genuinely crazy. Sprite Elf, Herald of the Arclight, Baron the Fleur, Borload Savage Dragon, Moon of the Closed Heaven. They're all there. Everything. Dude, mandatory trigger. Alright, I guess that's a good impulse, finally. It will not matter. I do not have the tools to punish them for this behavior. Okay, now I do have some tools. Wait, no, they have Purge. Never mind. I forgot they searched another Purge. I do not have the means to punish them. Yep. Yeah, I should have started with this in hand, but that's also not winning. If I start with this in hand, they just revive. Uh... That really went downhill harder than I thought. I didn't expect to get Gamut on their turn and then top deck Cupsy. Why has it all been Yami and Mitsu today? Because we're playing Master Duel? I want to bait Ash first if possible. Impermis, whatever. All right. That's my bad. I didn't want to play anyways. Island is once per turn, yeah. What do you think about Emre's list for the regional this weekend? I do think it's based, yeah. Ooh, nice. Let me guess, Ash again? Awesome. What are you playing tomorrow? Are you keeping it a secret? I don't know yet. All right, we are gaming, definitely. Ash Gaming. Wait, that pops it. Okay. Punch! What deck is this? Okay. I guess we will never find out because I can't check. We will never know. It must have been Mitsu or Malice, right? Because Impulse and a bunch of other hand traps. I mean, going first ahead would have been even worse, so I guess I can't complain about going second this time. And with a starter off the top, maybe it's okay. It depends on the matchup if the super poly is good. Okay. Probably just ash it and hope the attributes are missing. I don't want to hold Ash for Holisu because then they can do it on my turn again. And with, I mean, yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, it's my bad for interacting. I know, I know. Sorry if you've been asked 100 times, but are you watching Pokemon Direct and are you excited for Champions? I don't have the time to watch it on stream today because I have to get going soon. But I'm interested in it. I'll rewatch it later. But yeah. We're not gonna watch it on stream today. Are you on one case with your Vanquish Soul list right now? I think it's 2. In the one with more canines. Hey Josh, with the discussion on the reprints yesterday, have you seen that the serialized ones have 100A, implying there will probably a reprint with 100B? First of all, where did you see that? Can you link me that? My first instinct is that it's probably because of languages. Because I was wondering how they would do that with the serialized overframes, right? Like, are they going to do 100 for OCG and then 100? Like, how are they going to do it in the TCG? Because the TCG has a bunch of different languages, right? So, like, is there going to be 100 German, English, French, Italian, and so on? Here's the link. Hold up. Okay, let me, I mean, I guess this game is over anyways, because, yep, K9. Okay, so this is a serialized version of the Dark Magician card that we looked at, that was revealed a couple days. Wait, is Limit Over Collection out now? Officially in the OCG? Limit Over Collection Heroes OCG release date. Yeah, February. Yeah. Tomorrow? Okay, I mean, I guess that means like there's people who already have access to the cards now because it's releasing officially tomorrow. Okay. It's like it's in the TCG, it's the same thing, right? Like some vendors and stores have access to the cards a little early. Or there's like maybe they also have influencers doing early openings in the OCG as well. So this is serialized version of the Dark Magical Curtain or whatever it's called, and it's number 66 out of 100A. I would assume that the A in this case, it could stand for Asia. So maybe that's that. Or they're really just gonna go by letters. But I think it doesn't imply, I don't think it implies reprints. I think it just implies that is their solution for different countries, right? Because we are gonna get serialized cards in the TCG as well. So it's gonna be the same card, right? So they're gonna make another version of this in like English probably. And this is the other question, I suppose, is are they gonna make overframes for every language, right? Is there going to be overframe Germans, overframe English, overframe French, overframe Italian, overframe Spanish, and so on and so forth, right? I feel like they would, right? And so maybe it's going to be like 100A is Asia, 100J is maybe Japanese, although this card is Japanese, right? It is JP003, so this card is Japanese. So maybe A is just it should be Asia in general, maybe, if that's what the A stands for. I hope they don't. That would saturate the market way too much. I don't know if that's true, because I feel like if there's just 100 copies of this card in German, I feel like there could be enough German collectors to make that work. Because realistically, what's the alternative, right? The alternative is you just have English. And I don't know if that's a good idea, because realistically, I think the territory is maybe just too big. Because then how is it distributed, right? How is it distributed? Can you not even pull it in German boxes, in French boxes, in Italian boxes? Because what is that going to do to that product compared to the other ones, right? Or are you going to insert English versions of the cards in the French and German and Italian and Spanish boxes and so on and so forth, right? And then also, what about the difference between American cards and European cards? How is that going to work? Are we going to have 50 American prints and 50 European prints? Are they just going to be in American boxes? Are they just going to be in European boxes? Like, it becomes very weird, right? Because imagine they are just in English boxes and just in American print. What's going to happen to the European market on this product, right? How is that going to work? There's still a lot of questions regarding those overframes once we get them. And I guess it's the same in Asia, right? Because how does this work in Asia right now? How does this work? Because of course there's Japanese cards, but there's also other regions in Asia that would really want those cards. There's also Asian English, you know, a lot of questions still. The Japanese serialized has no letter. It is just XXX out of 100. Asia has the A. Okay, then, but why is this card Japanese then? Is it because the other, like the OCG countries outside of Japan still play with Japanese cards, but they're technically not the Japanese print run? But that implies that there is 200 of this in Japanese, right? Am I getting this right? Because that's what this means, right? That means there's 2 of each number. There is a Japanese print and a non-Japanese but OCG print, but they are both in Japanese technically, right? But one is an A and one is not an A. Korea has their own language. Chinese have their own language printings, but the rest of Asia has all Japanese. Okay. Right. Right. I think, honestly, in the grand scheme of things, I think it would be better if these cards can be found in every form of the product. Like, I think if, for example, the German boxes don't have serialized cards in them, I think that would be whack. I think that would hurt the market for German boxes a lot. I think if that was the case, I think a lot of those products would do very poorly compared to the English product. But I also think it becomes very awkward very quickly if you have to insert English versions of those cards into every language product, right? Because that implies that you don't find the full 100 in the English product. You start putting like 5 of them in the French ones, 5 of them in the Spanish ones, 5 of them in the German ones, and I think at that point I don't think that's a good solution. I think it's fine if there's 100 German copies, 100 French, 100 Spanish, 100 Italian. I don't think that's that big of a deal. I think in the grand scheme of things, with the size of those countries, I think it still is a very high collectible card if there's 100 German copies of this. I think, especially if this helps the collector's market, if there are enough collectors, because I also think there are going to be collectors who will especially want it specifically in their own language. I definitely think there's people who will want this card in German, who will want this card in French and not in English, because that is their native language. I think Yu-Gi-Oh! As an IP is big enough and will have enough demand for that. I don't know. I don't think 100 per is crazy. In Magic, in German boxes, you have English serialized versions. Maybe they do that, and maybe that's also fine. Maybe that's also fine. I'm saying, like, that's all. That is the other alternative. I think the alternative is you insert English versions of the cards, because there's only 100 total. You insert English versions of the cards into the other boxes. Like, the German boxes still have a chance to pull the English serialized version. But what I do think is important, that I think is the main point I'm making, is I think every version, every language should have a chance to pull an overframe. Whether that one's English or German in the German boxes, I don't think is that important, but I think it is important for the collector's market that there is a chance when you open those boxes that you pull one of these cards, because that is ultimately what drives demand for sealed product, because it's more fun to open this sort of stuff if there's a small chance, even if it's a really small chance, to pull one of these cards, right? But yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see how this goes. But there is still a lot of open questions about this. But yeah, I mean, I'm a huge fan of the border on these serialized cards. I think this sort of like millennium or like ancient Egyptian anime symbol style border looks fantastic. The Starlight Rare pattern, I don't really particularly care for. I think the main thing that I find cool about these cards is of course, the overframe itself, but then the border is really cool, in my opinion. I doubt that I will ever buy one of these cards. I mean, I have no idea what they will go for, but from my understanding, they will probably be pretty expensive. It would be super sick to pull one of these cards, though. And I think I'm not alone with that sentiment. I feel like a lot of people are in the same boat of like, they would never buy one of these cards if they go for like 4 digits and upwards, which is possible. But it would be so sick to pull one, right? And that's exactly the thing that drives the demand, right? That's exactly the thing that gets people to open your product. If there's stuff in there that is really cool, that's really hard to get, and just buying the single is not a realistic alternative to it, right? Because in the case of regular cards that you need for playing, you don't have to open boxes to get those. You can just buy the singles, right? You can just be like, okay, you know what? It's actually probably financially smarter to just get the singles because it's much cheaper. For these cards, buying the single might not be an option because they are just crazy expensive, right? And so like that's what makes opening up the product exciting, is because you could pull something that you could otherwise never buy, right? And that is how I feel about these. Is scalping something we should be worried about? I think we are very far from that situation. That is something that I don't want to speculate over. I know Pokemon and One Piece and stuff have those kind of problems. Yu-Gi-Oh! At the moment is very far from it, which is the one good thing about the fact that Yu-Gi-Oh! Products are not that good at the moment. I will say if these cards make it so that Yu-Gi-Oh! Becomes collectible again, then we might get that problem at some point in the future. Maybe. What is scalping? Okay, scalping means, and it's a problem in Pokemon and One Piece at the moment, and maybe other card games, is that the product for Pokemon and One Piece is actually doing so well, the demand for Pokemon and One Piece product is so high that what happens whenever a new set drops, people just go crazy, buy everything they can until everything is out of stock, and then they try to sell it for an incredible, like a crazy markup, which is a crazy thing to do. But it's something that's happening. You know, people will go to like every store that they can find. They will buy all the Pokemon product, and then once it's sold out, they will sell it on eBay for more, which is like, it's pretty cringe. It does happen in these sort of like hobbies where the product is actually sought after, which is something that Yu-Gi-Oh! Doesn't have that problem at the moment, because Yu-Gi-Oh! Product is, quite frankly, not that good at the moment. And if these cards change this, then that might also change. Who knows? Realistically, though, from a player perspective, at least that is my impression from those other card games, is that if you're just playing the game, scalping doesn't really affect you that much, right? Because ultimately, the reason why this product is so attractive, it makes it so that people open it a lot, and that means the lower rarity versions of those cards, you can still just buy the singles. For example, if you are a Pokemon player, I don't think you have a problem assembling a deck for a tournament. You can still just go on Card Market and buy all your Pokemon cards for incredibly cheap, right? The low rarity versions, right? If you actually want to collect and you want to open product, then it becomes a problem, right? It's a collector's problem mostly, not a player's problem, which from the current Yu-Gi-Oh! Perspective, we have mostly players. So if you don't plan on collecting overframes and opening up a bunch of boxes for them, then you shouldn't be worried about scalping, right? You should only be worried about it if that's what you're trying to do. If you just want to play the game, then none of this will ever probably affect you. From a player perspective, it's not that big of a deal if this does happen, right? And so, all things considered, it's weird because like it's good that Yu-Gi-Oh product isn't being scalped, obviously, but at the same time, it does speak volumes about the quality of the product if it is being scalped, right? Like it's not a good thing that it's being scalped, but it is a good thing that the product is good. You know what I mean? So. And I wish Yu-Gi-Oh product was better, you know, but well, we'll see what happens. It's an exciting year for Yu-Gi-Oh in this regard because this is the first time we are getting something like this. This is something that we don't know how the market is going to react to it. We don't know exactly what's going to happen. I guess we will see the impact on the Japanese market soon. Hopefully we get some input from Japanese players soon. Maybe Sunny is going to make a video on how this affects the OCG market for these cards or whatever. If not, then I'll make sure to maybe reach out to some Japanese players and see what happens. You know, see if the product is more attractive than other stuff and so on and so forth. I'll try to get as much info as I can, and then people will probably you know, do this. I wish we had time for this today. Create a limit over collection the heroes tier list. Oh yeah, I'm gonna bookmark this because this is something we can do next time. But I don't have time for it today. I actually do have to get going now. But yeah, yeah, it's an interesting topic, and we'll hear more from this in the upcoming days, I'm sure, because this is now coming out in the OCG, and we'll see what the reaction of the players, of the collectors is like. Hopefully we'll find out, so we can anticipate what exactly is happening for us. But yeah. Okay, gamers, that's going to be it for today. I'm not going to be live tomorrow because I'm playing a regional, but I will be live on Sunday. The plan for Sunday at the moment is that we are going to be watching YCS Sydney. Now, YCS Sydney has a crazy time zone difference to me, so when I start streaming on Sunday, the event will already be over, I think. So we're just going to rewatch the stream. I heard that there is a stream, and it's basically happening in the middle of the night for me. So we're just going to take a look at some of the feature matches on Sunday. That is at least the plan. And then we can do some other fun stuff like recapping the regional that I'm playing tomorrow and all that other stuff. All right, so hope you enjoyed the stream today. Sorry it's a little bit shorter than usual. So we'll make up for it by watch partying YCS Sydney on Sunday. But I hope you had a good time today. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Let me find someone to rate real quick. And then I will see you all on Sunday, hopefully. Or I'll see you at the regional tomorrow if you're playing. I'll send you over to Trishula. You guys have a fun time over in that stream, and I'll see you all on Sunday. Bye-bye, everybody. Peace. Thank you for watching. Appreciate you.